Ugh. That's bad. Alright, these bros are just gonna have to deal with it. Ugh. Hey, what's up guys? Today's video is going to be a little bit different.
I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different. Pull up to the scene with my cellar missing.
Obviously not that different. You guys know that there's some things on this channel that will probably never change. However, what we're gonna do in this video is take a different approach because I realize that summer is on the horizon and everyone is focused on getting beach ready, having their abs showing, being shredded, toned. Can't really think of many more synonyms, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. But I've done a video on this, why I don't bulk cut or take selfies. And one of the reasons is because I love to eat more than I love to look good, apparently. But I know that there's some people out there that think otherwise, which is fine. And I am here for you guys. It is your world. I am just living in it. So what I'm going to do is take you through a video and show you some foods, what I would eat if I had to cut. And you guys know I have a huge appetite, so it's going to be more high volume options. There's no way I could stay sane eating Pop-Tarts and being in a caloric restriction because I would just go out of my mind. So hopefully this will be of some value to you guys. I am going to hit the gym. The one thing that I would not change if I was cutting would be my pre-workout, only because I would want my performance to stay the same. That's one of the hugest downfalls to cutting, is you lose your energy in the gym and you just lose your focus overall, no matter if you're at the gym, if you're at work, if you're with your friends, all of that good stuff. So I would keep that the same if it were me, but you guys can do whatever you want to do.
You'll win somehow, so give up on the battle, baby. It's hard.
Here is my very random clip for this video, no relevance whatsoever, so feel free to skip over it. But I was talking with one of my friends at dinner the other night, and we were talking about logistics, and it just kind of blows my mind how things get to and from different places. We were talking about cars actually, and how they just have these huge ships. They ship them from overseas to the United States. Things you don't even think about, like this train that I was waiting behind had all these Costco crates. And it's like you don't think about it. You just at the store and picking up everything off the shelf. You don't know where it's coming from. How does it get from the manufacturer to the store? It's just amazing. It just blows my mind. As you can tell, I'm very easily amused. Let's get back to this day of cutting, and this is gonna surprise no one. I eat this all the time and I'm not even cutting. I've told you guys time and time again, puffed wheat cereal gives you the most volume out of any cereal. Actually, I guess it's not even just puffed wheat. A lot of you guys tell me there's this thing called puffed kamut. Really, any cereal that's puffed with air. And I'm going to show you guys across the screen right now a comparison of a normal size bowl and the big bowl that I use. Well, I filled that thing to the top and I noticed that it was just going to overflow when I added milk, so I actually had to throw it into a mixing bowl. And this gives you almost four bowls, four regular size bowls of cereal as you guys are watching. So you're really not gonna beat it. This is 300 calories for this entire thing. I'm telling you, you have to find it. And the other thing that I'm gonna tell you guys is you might wanna eat in stages. So I'm gonna start with this almost as like a little bit of an appetizer. That's gonna keep me full for a little bit, and then when I get more hungry, I'll make the next thing. A lot of you I know will say, well, you just worked out, you probably should get some protein. Probably should, but you know, I am not worried about the little minute details. I think I'm gonna be alright. We're back. Sorry, I'm a busy person, guys, and I will be the first to admit that I take meal timing to an extreme. Obviously, it's not as important as we once thought. However, you probably should get a little bit more food in around your workout. But my problem is that I'll get working on something or I'll be out doing something, and I just do not like stopping to eat. So I take full advantage of that if it fits your life, and that's just what works better for me. So I've been running around doing whatever I gotta do, but we're finally here to eat, and what I'm gonna do is make a big old egg scramble. This is gonna have so much volume. I'm gonna add like 300 to 400 grams of, is it cucumber? No. What is it? Squash. That's what it is. No. Zucchini. There we go. We'll go with that one. Zucchini, onion, some mushrooms. Mushrooms are so low in calorie, in case you guys are unaware, but I'm sure you are. And then we're gonna add some ham just for a little bit of extra protein, as long as you cut it with a pizza cutter. My favorite kitchen utensil. So we're gonna throw all that in there just with some egg substitute and wait till you see the amount of food this is gonna get you. Step numero uno, you're gonna wanna cook all these vegetables first. This is probably only around 100 to 150 calories. And look at all this. This is gonna shrink down, but we're gonna cook this and then add the egg to it. I feel like I add garlic, onion, and Italian seasoning to about everything, but I've never really been convinced that it really matters what seasonings you put on your eggs. Obviously, you're not gonna throw cinnamon on there, but outside of that, I mean, you can kind of throw whatever you want on there. And the reason I'm showing you this is because someone left a comment not too long ago and was saying, you never season your food? Well, yes, I do season my food, I just never show you. So if you guys want my super secret seasonings, just let me know, even though I just showed you.
Wake up, bake up, gotta get my cake up. In the cut, in the cut, in the cut, in the cut, in the cut. It's so funny, on that paper chase in case that money run from me. In the cup, rolling up, keep them easy, what choked out, loped out, blowing hella smoke out. In the cut,
I topped the eggs with some of this taco sauce, really good macros on this, just 1 or 2 servings there. And here we have a whole plate of food. I'll put the macros on the screen right now. It's always weird to say that because obviously when I'm doing this, the macros are not there, but they will be, I promise you. So I will eat this, and you guys know how this works. I will probably disappear for a little bit, and then come back, eat some more food, and then do the same thing again. So we're gonna get to some more food here, but before we do, I figured I would stop and talk with you, see how you guys are doing. These videos are all about me, and that's not right. They should be about you. So leave in the comments below, how are you doing today? That's all I wanna know. Actually, leave something about yourself that I don't know, that you don't mind sharing on the internet. I waited, still waiting. You haven't done it yet. Okay, back to me, your time's over. Now, I know someone is gonna comment on this video saying, you know, this whole cutting is not really valid, or it's kind of irrelevant because your cutting calories are gonna equal even more calories than most people bulk on or most people gain weight on. So, I get that, and I understand that, but if you've noticed throughout this video, what I've tried to do is give you examples of foods that you can make into any size portion that you want. So, take the last meal for example, you could have used half the vegetables and half the eggs and still had a high volume meal. So it's all gonna be relative here, and the reason I'm even saying this is because the next meal is gonna be something that you could probably divide up into a whole family. It's gonna be very high volume, and I'm just gonna eat the whole thing because I don't really need it for tomorrow. I'm going out with some friends, so there's no reason for me to keep some leftover food. So that is my spiel on that. And now we are finally gonna get to the food. So for the main course, all we're gonna have to do is cook up 1 pound of ground beef. Of course you guys know I'm looking for those sales, and then we're gonna add this whole container of broccoli saw. Macros on this are great, and then another thing that's very macro friendly is just diced tomatoes. So this whole can has like maybe 90 calories if I remember correctly, maybe not even that. Remember that even though these say about 3.5, it never actually has that. It usually ends up being about 3. That's usually what I track it as because I don't want to weigh it every single time. And then I know you guys are thinking, well, it has red sauce, you must be adding ricotta, but I'm not. I'm trying to add some different things into your lives, and I'm gonna be using ricotta for the side. So everybody loves mashed potatoes, right? But some people just do not have the macros for them. So what we're gonna do is make some awesome mashed potatoes. And let me preface this by saying that I am very against healthified foods. I hate when you try to make, I don't even know, like, I don't really hate it, but like healthy pizza, it's just like, you know, it's always like on a tortilla or something. It's never the same, and all those like recipes online, I'm not a big fan, but this is one that I can actually stomach. So we're gonna make mashed potatoes out of cauliflower, and we're gonna be using some orange cauliflower, just for the cool effect. It tastes the exact same. I've tried purple cauliflower, I actually made it, or I actually used it in a recipe probably about 6 months ago. It's still up on the channel. So we're gonna steam that up on the stove, and then we're gonna put it in the blender, add some ricotta and a few other things, and then this will give you a ton of volume, a lot more than if you were just eating potatoes, and it is almost as good. That's a stretch. Maybe not. Well, it's pretty damn good. So after you brown the meat, you're gonna wanna reduce the heat and then just throw everything else in there. Seriously, look how much food this is for 100 calories. So now, now that this is cooked down a little bit, you're going to want to dump the tomato sauce in there, and you are going to want to make sure that this cooks all the way through. So just make sure the cauliflower is fully cooked and throw it in the blender. I threw my ricotta in there. Here are the seasonings that I use. You can kind of use anything that you like. Be very careful with the nutmeg if you decide to use it. You probably know that it's very strong, and too much of that will definitely ruin this. So just a little bit, throw it all in there, and I'm just going to blend it, and that should be it. Oh, by the way, I only use ricotta cheese. The last time I made this, I used cottage cheese as well, which you probably would want to use just to make this a little bit creamier, but unfortunately I did not have any, so I had no problems doubling up on the ricotta. And quickly, while it's still hot, I'm gonna throw some mozzarella cheese on here. Just let that melt in, and I'm also gonna top it with some Parmesan, and then these will be all finished up. Tell me that that does not look amazing. And what I really like about this yellow cauliflower is it looks like really cheesy mashed potatoes. That's pretty cool. As you guys saw, 1 can of tomatoes was not enough for all this, so I went ahead and added some more pasta sauce, and this whole plate is full, and I still have all of this left in the skillet, which is what I meant when I said this could feed a whole family. So, you know, divide it into 4, and the macros are very, very reasonable. These are both really good. See, I could cut for a day. So I don't know if I ever told you guys this or not, but I like to eat standing up just because I sit 90% of my life. So that is my weird little habit. That was a lot of food. I'll be back. I told you I'd be back, and I'm not that hungry. That last meal was huge. However, it's time to go to bed, so I am gonna finish up with some food. The food that I'm about to eat is in the freezer right now, so let me just talk you through it real quick. What we're gonna be having is some yogurt, and you guys know I hate Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt that is, but if you guys have a Kroger or a Fred Meyer, I would highly suggest you pick up some of this Carb Master yogurt. Not only is it only $2, which is much cheaper than any Greek yogurt out there, you can actually eat it because it doesn't taste like death, and it has almost the same macros as like a Yoplait or is it a Danone Light and Fit, those ones that everyone are eating. However, it has almost double the volume. So those are the Light and Fits are about 150 grams. This is about 227 grams. This stuff is always my go-to. I'm gonna throw some strawberries in there, which everyone knows are very high volume. I think the typical, what is it, a quart of strawberries is about 100 calories. So I'm gonna dump all that in there and make like a little parfait. Top it off with a few rice cakes. I'm gonna have 4 in total, so I might actually just eat some to the side. And that is gonna be the majority of the food for the rest of the night. And the last thing I'm gonna be having is some Bit O' Honey candy. You guys have probably heard me talk about this on the channel before. It's kind of random, it's hard to find here in Ohio, but it's 130 calories for 6 pieces, and the reason I really like it is because it just kind of curbs that sweet tooth, and it takes a really long time to eat. So if you only have 1 of them, it's like what, 25, 30 calories? If I'm doing the math right in my head. You guys, if you see it at the store, just try it out. I would not lie to you. So if I was cutting, this would probably be my starting point. And obviously as the weeks go on, I would have to taper this down. But I'd be right around, you know, 60 to 70 grams of fat, 320 to 350 carb, and 220 to 250 protein. I might bump the protein up just for satiation reasons. But luckily for me, tomorrow I'll be back on my normal macros. I just kind of want to do this to show you guys if you have high volume foods, even for someone like me who's a huge eater, I'm fine. I do not even have to eat this last meal, which is crazy to think about. I could cut it off at 2,500 calories. That's pretty nuts. So I really do hope that this helps some of you out there. I want to try to add value to your lives, even though I feel like some of you really dislike the value that I add of showing you the crazy foods that don't fit in most people's macros. But I don't know. You guys let me know. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. We will be back to normal programming next week unless there's a huge demand for this, which please do not let there be. But thank you for taking the time to watch this video. It really means a lot to me, and I'll talk to you guys next time.